Morning, folks. This morning's shaving cream is from Artist Shaving. This one here is peppermint. This is one I found at Marshall's. That's what it looks like there. In the previous video, I mentioned that got one for $8 and one for $10. And looking at their website, they still have this flavor, but it's running at about 30 bucks. So yeah, you probably want to go to TJ Maxx or Marshall's, and on occasion you might find something like this at Ross. A whole lot cheaper, definitely. Going to be following the shave up with Yulay's Peppermint Bark. This aftershave is non-alcohol, and as it goes for the scent, the bark makes it a deeper, darker peppermint scent to it. So the two ought to work well together. I used the same setup yesterday and it seemed to work just fine as it goes for scent, at least per my nose. Blade of choice today is going to be Personna. This is the X Series, a single edge version. They also make this in the double edge also. Pretty good blades. Can't complain about them at all. And I have it set up here in this is a Focus Evolution. I think the model number is like R21-3. This one here is a reddish or pink color. In the link I have down below, this one here, the picture on the website, this is more red than what I have here. This one here is a bit more pink. But it's set up like this. You can kind of tell that the heel and the toe of the blade is covered, and it makes it pretty nice as it goes for somebody that's just starting out. That's one of the it removes those two ends right there that you can cut yourself with. I've got it whipped up here in a bowl with my this is an EverReady brush that was restored by Strike Gold Shave, and just a little on the wet side. It's not quite drippy, but it's pretty darn close. It's just right there on that verge. Works well for me. You know, when it comes to this sort of shaving, you do what works best for you. For me, having something pretty close to like that in the way of lather works well. And I've already put a hot towel to the face this morning. And for the pre-shave, I use coconut oil. And I can get started here. Yesterday's shave was pretty nice. With this particular shavette, it'll run you right around the $14, $15 mark. I've seen it, 14 and closer to 15. I got a link down below. I've seen them on Amazon on occasion. An inexpensive shaver. And at the end of the shave, I'll take it apart. That plastic insert, the blade is very much secure in there. It's pretty straightforward on how you load it. And it doesn't require a whole lot of effort. It just snaps right into place. Like I said, there it is. It is just a little drippy right there on the verge. Go ahead and yeah, it feels good. I can already feel it cooling. As it goes for the scent, it is present. My nose can pick it up, which is not always the case, and it's nothing over the top if that is a concern for anybody. Some of the shavettes have a, I guess you might say, preset angle for you to help you with your shave. This one here, to a degree, more or less does not. It comes close. If you're just starting out with a shavette, this one here may not be a half bad one to start with. Start out with it flat on the face and just tilt it up just a tad, just slightly, until you start feeling the blade taking off some of the whiskers. I guess the idea, or the thought that might help some folks, is just think of it in the way of just removing the shaving cream. They do come in different colors. I have another one like this that is a different color. It's black, and this portion here is more like a gunmetal. It's pretty nice. Now I think that particular version will cost you more than one like this one here. But both of them are, you know, as goes for loading and everything, they're identical. I should mention, I don't think I did before, there is a tab right here, and that tab helps with when you go ahead and you close the shaver, keeps the blade from hitting the bottom of the scales there. Definitely like that feature. Because you figure there's got to be something in place to keep it from that blade hitting bottom. At least you would hope there was. With the way this is set up, I would consider this a mild shaver because of the blade, the way that it's situated in there. It's not quite the excuse me, the blade feel that you may have with some other shavettes or a hair shaper as far as that goes. You might say it's like a shavette with training wheels. It does make it easier for somebody just starting out, especially when you're going across the grain, at least in my experience. That's where I usually will get some of my nicks or cuts, as well as down here in my folds of my neck. Really enjoy this kind of shaver. It's almost what I would consider when you go from a single edge shaver like a shavette or a straight razor going to like a DE or an injector. This is close to going to like a DE for me. Don't have to worry quite as much about the toe and the heel catching you. And is a little bit more forgiving, especially until you figure out how much you need to stretch your skin, because that's another thing that'll come back to get you. If you don't stretch your skin just enough, that toe or heel might get you. Nice cooling effect. I really like peppermint, eucalyptus, menthol. It may not be everybody's favorite scent, but I do like what it does for my shave. Nice cool shave. And I enjoy it in the winter as well as I do in the summer. And speaking of weather, our weather is just about nuts. Today is Wednesday, if I didn't mention it, and I guess it'd be about a week ago today. Schools were closed because of the weather, snow, ice, and all that sort of thing. And it's a little cool today. We'll have some more rain, but this coming Monday, it's supposed to be like mid 70s. Weather's just crazy. I think tonight the low is supposed to, it's either tonight or tomorrow night. I think it's supposed to be down in the teens or something like that. We do get a wide range of temperatures here, it seems like. All within a span of a week or less. Like I mentioned, just put this flat on your face and tilt it up just a little bit. till you feel it catching the whiskers. That's a good place to start. And then you can, once you get your, I guess you might say, your technique under control, then you can tilt it up a bit more if you want something a bit more aggressive. I have to say, I have not shaved this area in probably 20 or so years. It's been quite a while. And I do notice with whatever shaver I might be using, whether it's a shavette, DE, whatever the case might be, the closer I get to this area, the tougher it gets. That's heavily populated there. For some folks, that might take the most practice, is how to get past this point right here where it's probably a lot thicker growth. Get by without ending up cutting yourself for a weeper. I have to say that the post-shave feel with our shaving cream is pretty nice. Can't complain a bit. Matter of fact, if you're selling it at $30, it has to be pretty decent. Like I said, the scent's not over the top, but it's not so light that you don't really notice it. The peppermint, as well as the eucalyptus, has a nice cooling effect. Peppermint has a little bit less cooling effect than what the eucalyptus does. Not quite as cooling, but it is present, as well as the scent. The past, excuse me, excuse me, mercy. The past, this would be going into the second week that I've been shaving with art shaving and shaving cream. And I have to say, that it is pretty nice. I don't know that I'd ever spend $30 for it though. It may be a special edition, something or another that just, just really hits the sweet spot for me. It's something I just really want. Like I said though, I don't think I'd ever spend $30 on it though. It, excuse me, it doesn't outperform some of the other shaving creams at much lower dollar amount. Beating starters and accoutrements. This is what's left of the alum block. No rubber band. I do end up with a little bit of stinging right around in this area here, which for me seems to be about normal. Every once in a while I'll get by without any. It has something to do with how aggressive I might get with the shaver. That's another area for me that the whiskers are a little bit more on the tough side. Catching those right through there. I do have some growth, especially on this side right here. Boy, it is really tough to get it really smooth. Usually I end up having to do a stroke right through there, trying to catch it. It grows different angles, so I have to be pretty creative in order to catch all of it. But normally with the shavette, with the grain against the grain pass, does fine for me. Humphrey's Witch Hazel. This has got peppermint and menthol in it. More peppermint than menthol. I have to say I do like this, I guess you might say, plastic cap. Especially at this level, it just pours out really nice. Little things like that make a difference. In last video I mentioned about Tony and I having a, I guess you might say, a slip and fall together. He's sitting right outside the door. He's pretty good about that sort of thing. I guess you might say like best buddy type of situation. There is one thing about Van Yulay's aftershave. Since it doesn't have alcohol in the way it's mixed up, you generally almost always will have to shake it up regardless. It is one of those things about her aftershaves. Usually comes in a container like this, plastic, and runs right around 10 bucks. Pretty inexpensive. As far as I'm concerned, it's a pretty nice aftershave. I've got several of hers. Monica. And her site is closed at the moment because she's moving. The way I remember it, she's moving from North Carolina to Texas. On the website it mentions she's going to be closed for a few weeks. But if you're interested in looking at some of her items, I got a link down below. Uh, I like her aftershave. For me, a lot of times, in a case like this, scent straightforward. You smell the peppermint and then the bark, giving it a dark twist to it. Feels nice on the face. I can feel it working. At least for me, it works well for me. All right, before I forget, I better take this out. It's just a plastic insert. Comes out like so. Just slides in and out. And at the website that I frequent to get stuff like this, Superior Shave, they've got extra of these if you're wondering. As it goes for cleanup, these are really easy to clean up. That one takes a quick moment. Let's see if I can do this without the blade falling out. You kind of see some little holes right here. Those are for the little post on each side. My experience has been with this particular insert, as well as some others I've got, I place it one side of the post and then it will actually snap on the other side. Stays in there quite nice. And you can kind of see the blade in there. Like I say, it don't take but a quick moment to clean this up if you're kind of concerned about that sort of thing. I'm going to put this blade over here in my dispenser. There we go. Had a great shave. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.